I was sent this subreddit called Retroactive Jealousy. It says, Subreddit dealing with retroactive jealousy. We are here to help if you suffer from anxiety about your partner's sexual past. I don't really know what to think about this subreddit though, so I'm going to go through a few of these posts with y'all. This one is titled People Trying to Understand RJ. I see people commenting and trying to understand RJ, saying they just don't get it. These are my thoughts on RJ. Some men like to sit and watch their wives get effed by another man. And then at the other end of the spectrum is retroactive jealousy, that it bothers some men that their wife had been with another man before they met each other. It is just different strokes for different folks. From a retroactive jealousy standpoint, it almost feels like your spouse cheated on you, even though that did not happen. In addition, it is important for some RJ people to be given all the benefits and more than what a spouse gave an old F buddy. Some RJ people are put off by the thought of, for instance, putting your tongue into something that another man's peen was in. It's almost like the old peen left some remains behind. People have many different triggers that cause their mind to then fixate on a spouse's old partners. I liken RJ to if I told my wife I loved taking my ex to nice restaurants, buy her nice luxury handbags and jewelry, nice trips, but then my wife and I decide, but then with my wife, I decide that was the old me, and the new me just doesn't like doing those things for my wife. Most women would not put up with that. Even a step further, if I did all those nice things for an ex willingly, and then with my wife, I only did some of those things only because she asked me, but I really didn't have my heart into it, then I can understand my wife being upset that I seem to show more desire for an ex, making my wife feel like a second tier person. Although knowing about my wife's past messes with my mind more than anything, I wanted to know in order to confirm maybe what she's into and has done, so that if I am asking for something she can't say, I would never do that. If she willingly did something for a guy that she didn't care enough to put a ring, that didn't care enough to put a ring on her finger, then if she did not at least do that for her own husband, would show she values her husband less than some old F buddy. It also shows me the bare minimum of what I should expect her to do for me. That's a lot of words. Why are you asking for her past history on everything? That's not really any of your business to me, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. That's what that man said. Father Joel says, any man who wants to see another guy screwing his wife does not love his wife. They are violating their wedding vows. No one would allow that sort of disrespect to happen to the woman they love. I love my wife, but I have no intimate feelings for her after I found out she screwed other guys and lied about it. The OP says, I agree. I personally don't understand why some husbands are into the swinging scene, allowing their wives to F another man, but I know that many people are into that kind of thing. And then Father Joel says, none of them truly love their wife. It's all about sexual infatuation. The next post, getting over ruminating thoughts about girlfriend's past. This person says, my girlfriend was an escort for a few years before we got together. She stopped when we got together and has shared quite a bit with me since I had no knowledge or experiences with S workers. She worked at a studio, so it was always safe and secure, and that it was an empowering feeling for her and the other girls for great money. I know she loves me and stopped when we got together. She'd been into me for years, but I was shy, oblivious, or thought she wasn't into me. But sometimes I find myself ruminating on the past, mostly because that she's much more sexually experienced than me. She told me that 90% of her clients were nice guys, but I keep thinking about what sort of she had to put up with the other from the other 10%. When the thoughts come up, I acknowledge them and try to push them away. We're going to be together and are committed to Escher or Esker. I'm not sure what that is. She's moved on, so I can too. She's asked me to work through it on my own. Has anyone else dealt with something like this? Busy Technician says, this probably won't make you feel better, but that's better than doing it for free, if you ask me. All right. This person says, you literally beat everyone else. Honestly, the fact that you retired an ex-worker ought to be tattooed on your chest. Just rip your shirt open and go alpha male if anyone says. As for that she had to go through, think about the good things you can give her in the future and realize you might have the most loyal girl ever. Also respect her request to get through this on your own. You said you ruminate on the bad things she went through, so don't make them even worse for her. Dopey says, yeah, I do think about this. I'm incredibly lucky to be with her. We knew each other before and likely crushed on each other then. I did. So I think I just ruminate if I'd asked her out, she wouldn't have had those negative experiences. And then this person says, and if you keep ruminating, you're going to miss out on future experiences. I get it, and I pray to this, so I know how much of a spiral these thoughts can be. Get Buddhist about it. Remember that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just waves in a pond. After the wave passes, you are still there. Meditate, work out, crush it at work and at home, and just let the dump settle to the bottom of the pond. Easier said than done, but you clearly want to get better, so I think you can do it. Just don't let the weirdos pull you down. There are guys in here who do not want to get better, and they also do not want others to get better so that their own problems have more validation. Yes, there are men that keep other men in a cycle of loneliness and unhappiness. The next post: how do I overcome this disgusting retroactive jealousy? I've been dating this girl for about 3 months now, and she's told me she's ready to make things official. She's perfect for me, and I know we're in a healthy relationship. The only thing preventing me from going forward is her history. The first time we hooked up, I asked her if she had sex recently, and she told me she had within the month. This kind of hurt after a major relationship. I didn't have sex for about a year before her. I've told her that the thought of her with other guys hurts my heart. But every once in a while something comes up where I learn about a guy she used to hook up with or her behavior in college. I know she was her own person before me and that this is my problem, but I can't get over this. I'm afraid of ruining a great relationship over my RJ, and I have resorted to asking you guys, what questions do I ask myself to move past this and grow? All right, let's do some of these comments. This first person says, perhaps it will help to identify a bit more specifically how it hurts your heart. When you think of her past lovers, you feel pain, but ask yourself, what thoughts come along with that pain? If you can identify them, it will be easier to reframe the situation in a way that helps you feel better. And it's kind of wild that you have to feel better about someone else's past. Henry says, you should recognize that men often respond differently after a breakup. Women have a ready to go, constant list of opportunities. Some say it's the war bride's adaptation that lets them move on to the next best man. Men can pull back and go to mission mode, focusing on other things, or they can go for lots of partners also. From her perspective, your RJ may seem strange, as I'll bet she has a clear view that the past is gone and not in the context of today. I'd be more focused on listening to her honest answers about her past and observe her actions when life goes stress mode. You must go slow and see how it goes when limerence is worn off. I say enjoy the sex and relationship and make a full commitment subject to actual behavior. So that is what this person is saying. And then Audacious Al is ending up with, these are questions better asked to a therapist. And to that, I definitely agree. Therapists aren't biased. Given this sub, you are going to get advice from other people with RJ, and that advice will always have bias. And, I've been reading through some of this, and I do not completely understand it, but it does seem that these people do have some kind of mental block that needs to be examined. And I'm not sure that they will get it examined, but we need to talk about this. Anyway, enjoy the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and